Krishna is the first avatar who has given such an exclusive discourse on the workings of the Prakriti, the Atma, the Paramatma, and all that it takes for one to discriminate between the three and ultimately transcend the gunas and realize the truth that one is not different from that same Paramatma, Purushottama, who is also present as Kshara Purusha in the Prakriti and Akshara Purusha as the Jivatma. This is the essence of the previous chapter, Purushottama Yoga. Before that, we had also studied Prakriti aspect and Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga. And prior to that, we had studied Kshetra Kshetrajna Yoga, Vibhaga Yoga. So Arjuna, being a curious but sincere sadhaka, he came as a warrior to the battlefield, but he has turned into the disciple. In fact, the foremost disciple of Krishna. And we have to be thankful to Arjuna because if of him that we are able to enjoy this nectar of Bhagavad Gita. Though cow gives milk only for the calf, we think so. But at the same time, we all get to drink all the milk. Poor calf gets very little, unfortunately. But here, Arjuna is having his fill of Bhagavad Gita, Dugdham, and we are also being served. And how is this Upanishadic cow? It is Kamadhenu. As much you milk the cow, that much milk you are getting. It's unending, it's inexhaustible. The knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, which was valid and true thousands of years ago, while the battle was going on, even today, the same knowledge is equally applicable and relevant. In fact, the most practical text is Bhagavad Gita, which helps us to lead our lives in a better way. So now we have learnt a lot of concepts. The concept that the same Paramatma, in unmanifest form, is the ultimate supreme Purushottama. In the manifest form becomes the Prakriti and also enters the Prakriti as an Amsha. Mamaivamsho Jiva Loke. In all the beings I am present as an Amsha, as a small part, and of my divine glory is present in all. That's so encouraging because as Indians who believe in Sanatana Dharma and who trust the words of Lord Sri Krishna, we are very encouraged to believe that we also are divine, despite all our shortcomings, all our negativities, all the habits and attitudes that we have which are not so divine. Despite that, our scriptures go on telling us that you are divine and none other than divine. In fact, all of you, whole of you, everything of you is divine. And all that you do, which does not look divine, is also powered by the divine force only, energy only. So this is the beauty of our scriptures. They never call us sinners. They only say you might have some shortcomings, you might have some negative things, but there is a possibility for you to purify yourself and realize the truth of your divinity. That is the encouragement our scriptures give. So we are going to study now as we move from Purushottama Yoga, we have to also realize how to transcend the Prakriti and the Guna and realize the Purushottama in us. And what is that in us which does not make us realize that God? We generally are aware now, in our ashram at least, we all are aware that we are divinity only. And sometimes most of us think that we are divine, but it's very difficult to believe that our neighbor or next fellow also is divine. We find somehow that's unbelievable. But our scriptures, our Purushottama Yoga told, no, everybody is divine. And now we have to know why are we not able to see the divinity in all and us. So the example Shankaracharya gives in in his commentaries earlier is like cataract, prohibits our vision or blocks our vision and does not allow us to see what is there right in front of us, creates doubts and makes us take wrong decisions. Three things it does. It does not make us see properly. It creates doubts about what we are seeing. And then based on this ignorance, it makes us take wrong decisions. It's like cataract. So though things are present, though we are divine, we are unable to realize and see it only because of some shortcomings in us. Something in us is not working out to help us realize divinity. But you said, everything is divine. Yes, even the cataract is formed out of the same body. But it covers the eye which needs to see things. So like that, this ignorance also is Prakriti, which is born within the Paramatma only. But it is different from the purest nature of Paramatma. Like cataract is also nothing but our own cells, our own tissue. Yet it is born out of us and blocks our own vision. It's not coming from outside. So that is also divinity. However, it is blocking the ultimate understanding and realization of divinity. Therefore, we need to get rid of it. So this ignorance that we are Prakriti and we are not Purushottama, and that we are unable to realize that divinity is the cause of all the ignorance and all the wrong decisions we make in life. And how to make right decisions, what stops us from making right decisions? Certain qualities within us. We earlier learned some gunas are there, which make us do whatever we do. Tamoguna makes us lazy, lethargic, disinterested in good things, higher things, and makes us behave like matter or animals at best. Whereas Rajoguna, it is driven by passion, action, desires, sense of ambition, wanting to achieve. All these things are part of Rajoguna, which makes us active, and then we run pillar to post to fulfill our desires by action. Sometimes good actions, sometimes bad actions. Sometimes good desires, sometimes bad desires. Then there is Sattva Guna, which is purest essence of the divinity within us. This is the closest to our divine self. And that gives us right inspiration, right ideas, right understanding of things, because it is born out of the divine wisdom. And only when we transcend all the three gunas, that is when we become Purushottama. So this is the idea of work so far. And naturally the question next is, why are we not able to realize the divinity? How to transcend these gunas? What is that cataract in us which is not letting us see things as they are? So in the last chapter, Sri Krishna concludes, Iti guhyatamam shastram idam uktam mayanagha etad buddhva buddhiman syat kritakrityascha bharata. This is the ultimate secret I am telling you, a secret that is hiding in plain sight. You are divine and you are unable to realize, and everybody else also is divine. And I am explaining to you that this ultimate divinity is your truth. Everything else is falsehood. And understand this, you are sinless, Arjuna, you are very pure in your heart. Therefore, I am even trying to explain to you. Etad buddhva. Understand this completely, and buddhiman syat, become the man of discrimination and intelligence through this knowledge. And then what happens to you? Kritakrityascha bharata. All that needs to be done, achieved in this world would be achieved and done. There is nothing else left, no more desires to be fulfilled, so you will not be running, you will not be working the way you are doing right now. You are satisfied, you are done with all that you need to do. So now Arjuna needs to fight the war or not is the next question, because it seems like he is done with whatever he needed to do. No, he needs to fight the war, but without the attitude of any doership, without the attitude of enjoyership. Ashtavakra says, Yasyantam syat ahankaro na karoti karoti saha nirahankarasya dhirena na kinchit akritam kritam. The one who has ego, he alone has doership and enjoyership. The one who has no ego, even if he does something, he does not do. Or rather you say, there is nothing that he does or there is nothing that he does not do. Again, paradoxes means we are talking about spiritual truths. So the one who has ego only has the problem of, even if he doesn't do anything, he's still doing something. Even if you're sleeping, saying, I am not doing anything, no, your tamoguna is making you sleep. So you are still the doer and the enjoyer of that sleep. And you think you are not doing anything, but you are doing at that point in time. Whereas somebody who is full of activity, but he has realized the self, he has no ego, despite doing anything, he is not the doer, he is not the enjoyer. So that is kritakrityascha bharata. This idea of doership, enjoyership will disappear. You will simply become an instrument of the divine, and divine does everything through you. Now with that we come to the other chapter, the next chapter, which is Daivasura-Sampad-Vibhaga yoga. So Daiva means divinity or God, godly. And Asura, no need to explain. We have experienced it all the time, inside, outside. Asuras are non-divine qualities or demonic qualities. So Daivasura-Sampada, what are the qualities? Sampada means pada, that state, how a divinity or a divine being or how a godlike person is. What does he possess? What are his properties? What are his qualities? And what are the qualities of a demonic natured person? This is the yoga. And I'm sure we all know all of this, because there is a little divine in us. Actually, all of us are divine, but it is covered by the cataract of some negative demonic qualities. So we will go through that. Before I go to that chapter, I wanted to tell this story last time, but I thought I'll tell you now. There is a story in Chandogya Upanishad. This itself will set the context about what kind of people are divine and what kind of people are demonic. So in Chandogya Upanishad, the 8th chapter story comes where Brahma Prajapati, the creator, in his own quote, like Premamurtham, he declares to everybody about the nature of the self, the Purushottama, the ultimate, primordial, purest, conscious self. So about that he says that this self is sinless, ageless. This self has no sorrow, no death. This self is has no hunger, no thirst. And this self is the one which needs to be sought after. Because that is the truth that one needs to know. And the one who comes to know of this self, all his desires are fulfilled and he wins over all the worlds. This is how he says it. It means what? He's speaking in, as I said, in crypto way, cryptic. He's not going to tell things in an elaborate way. He's telling it in a nice, sweet, short way. And he says this is the ultimate truth of everyone. And the one who knows this truth, his all desires will be fulfilled and he can win over all the worlds. Now if you listen to that, you get very excited because you'll think, oh, all my desires will be fulfilled. It means tomorrow I want to travel to another country, I want to have a big holiday, I want to have a lot of money, I want to become topmost man in my country. Is that all possible if I know the self? You will, or somebody worldly will interpret it like this. But the idea is that he has no desires left to be fulfilled. That is the idea once he knows the self. There is no further craving for anything. Therefore, all his desires are fulfilled, is said. And also he says he will win over every world, all the worlds. What are the worlds that we know of? Our waking state, our dreaming state, and our deep sleep state. Jagrati, Swapna and Sushupti. The self which governs all the three, he will come to know of it and thereby he will not get distracted or disillusioned by the various states of existence. When we are wakeful, we think we are the body. When we are in dream state, we are the mind. When we are deep sleep state, we are the ignorance. But beyond that is the consciousness, witness, which is the truth. So once who knows that, knows all the worlds, it means he is not driven by his gunas which make him tamo guna or rajo guna or sattva guna. He has conquered it all. That is the conquest our Prajapati is talking about. But being what they are, the demons thought, oh, this is something we must get hold of. Because once we know this, we will win over every world, we will win over the gods. Because all the time there is a fight happening between gods and demons. And we will also be able to attain all our desires will be fulfilled. So with that excitement, they, as well as the devatas, because they also need to make sure that they have all the power to control and suppress the demons. So both of them go to Prajapati Brahma. And Prajapati is busy doing his thing. So poor demon, the king of the demons, Virochana, and the king of the devas, Indra, both were sitting and waiting, doing tapas. That whenever Prajapati decides to call them, they will be called. They waits for a long time, and after that Prajapati watches them from distance and says, okay, these people have come here for something and they've been doing tapas to win my grace and win my attention. So let me call them. So he calls and asks, what is the matter? Why are you here? And they say that, you talked about the self and we want to know what is that self and how is it present. And then Prajapati says, very simple, that you see in the pupil of the eye is the self, he says. And tells them, tomorrow dress up nicely and go to a place and see your reflection in a pan of water. And see what you see that is the self. So both of them next day have a good bath and dress up nicely, ornaments and nice robes, silk robes, and then they go and see their reflection in water. And what do they see? They see their own physical reflection, from the nails to the hair to everything, all the ornaments and the dress. And that is what they say in the pupil of the eye, because through the pupil of the eye, they've seen this reflection. So they become very happy. Oh, it was so simple, we didn't know. They go back to Prajapati, and Prajapati asks, what did you find out? He said, we know now that what we saw is our reflection, from hair to toe to nails to everything. So that is the self. Prajapati, smiles about their ignorance, and he says, very well, then you may go. So both the Indra and Virochana leave the place, very happy that they have found out the truth. But what happens? Virochana reaches his demons, whatever the kingdom, and meets all the demons. They are waiting. Have you found out that power with which we can conquer everything and fulfill our desire? He said, yes, of course. This body itself is the self. We did not know. We were thinking it's some rocket science. It is only self. It is only the truth. So all demons become very happy. And now they start looking after their bodies so well. Eat, sleep, make merry. That is a khana, pina, sona. They start working on that very hard. And then kill everybody else for their fulfillment of desires. And go on nourishing and caring and loving and protecting and nurturing their body. So their whole attention goes to their body, because they think if they look after their body, they will become the most powerful people. So even today, demonic people are those who are always busy with their bodies. They want to decorate themselves. But for what purpose? Because they want to become physically strong so that they can suppress others, they can bulldoze others, they can rule over. So this idea is demonic idea. So that is what the Virochana does. And he is very happy, and all his foolish demons are quite satisfied with what they have fought, because it's quite pleasurable to do that. You're treating the body well and feeding it and giving it all the pleasures that it can experience through the senses, and they think that is how they are strengthening the self. But that's foolish thing. But Indra on the way thinks, how can it be? Because body undergoes changes and it dies also. But self by its definition is indestructible, changeless and sinless. But we commit sins using our body, we make mistakes. How can it be self? So halfway through he thinks and returns back to Prajapati. He's got a doubt. See, he's contemplative. That's why I say Shravanam, Mananam. Bina Mananam, the Shravanam alone may not be clear. So these people do Mananam, and Indra comes back at Prajapati asks him, what happened? Why you're back? He says, no, something is wrong with our understanding of this self as the body. Why? Then he explains that, see, body changes, decays, dies, and all that change. But self is not supposed to change. You have taught that. So this can't be self. Prajapati becomes happy that at least one of my sons is a little intelligent, he's thinking. Parimargitavyam, he's able to discern. So he says, okay, you do tapas for 32 years, then I will call you. So for 32 years, they do tapas, Indra does tapas. And after 32 years, he calls him and tells him, that which you see, that which moves in your dreams is the self. And then he becomes happy. He starts returning to his Swargaloka. But on the way, he again gets a doubt. He starts thinking, but in my dream, I see myself, I see things, but they are also perishable. And there is if we are afflicted in the dream, we are sorrow, we cry, we feel bad. There are a lot of negative and positive emotions. But this dvandva, this kind of nature is not self. It is supposed to be pure, sinless, unagitated, calm. So this can't be self, what I see in the dream. What moves around in my dream is not self. He comes back. Prajapati says, do another 32 years of tapas. So he does that. And after that he calls him and tells, we becomes 32 years, somebody says 5 years, whatever the story is there. So it means he did 108 years of total tapas to realize the truth. So after that tapas, Prajapati calls him and says, after 32 years, what is the thing that you found out? What is that self is? Indra asks, and then Prajapati explains, that which is there in your this deep sleep, that is the self. And he becomes happy saying, yes, at least it doesn't undergo changes, it doesn't undergo sadness or happiness, so this could be self. And he goes back, but on the way he thinks again. But that self is supposed to be self-luminous, self-aware, it is conscious. But in my deep sleep, I'm not even aware of anything. I'm not aware I'm a man or a woman, where I'm sitting, what am I doing? So it can't be self. So he goes back again. This time Prajapati is very kind. He says, do tapas only for 5 years, you're almost there. So he does tapas, and then he calls him and explains to him about the self as that which is embodied in this body, that indestructible principle of Atman, which is embodied in the Kshara, that is the decaying or changing body. And because it is bound to the body, it is embodied, it appears to experience joys and sorrows, but it is untouched by any of these dualities. And this way he gives him a discourse, and Indra comes to know what the self is, and he goes and shares that knowledge with Devatas. So Devatas become more powerful and capable than the demons. While demons are only fulfilling their bodily desires, Devatas focus on the truth of their existence. So this is the difference between Devatas and Asuras. Now we can make out what this chapter is going to be like. So all that which is pertaining to the body and the mind and its pleasures and all the attraction, distractions, the ambitions, these are all demonic qualities only. And only that which is contemplative on the truth. And therefore all the pure reflections or pure aspects of that contemplation which reflects in the way we think, speak and do, all that is pure divine qualities. So this is the basic premise with which this chapter is talking. So what is I will start, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, a long list of qualities. What qualities? The Daivi qualities, the good qualities. Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhihi Jnana Yoga Vyavasthitihi Danam Damascha Yajnascha Swadhyayas Tapa Arjavam. First shloka. Abhayam, they are fearless people. They don't have any fear. Why? Where does fear come from? Wrong understanding. You see a snake in the rope and then you get scared. Wrong understanding, wrong conclusion. Avidya. That leads to fear. Then all desires lead to fear because avidya, kama comes, desire comes. Desires lead to fear. If desires are not fulfilled, you're afraid. It could be any desire. I want to be rich, I can't be rich, I'm afraid. I want to be loved by everybody, popular, famous, can't be. I'm insecure, I have fear. Ultimately, I think I'm the body and I'm going to die and everything will be over with it. I'm fearful if I get a little disease. So fear is the quality of demons. But fearlessness, abhayam, it is the quality of divine beings because they know their truth. So they are fearless. That's why I say be selfless, be fearless. Unless you are selfless, you can't be fearless. If you have selfishness, you will have fear. So selflessness and fearlessness are like two sides of the same coin, the divine coin. Sattva samshuddhihi, sattva qualities, pure qualities and pure heart, samshuddhihi. Their hearts are pure. No? They yasya chittam dravi bhutam kripaya sarvajantushu. They are very kind, they are compassionate, their hearts melt at the plight and difficulties of others. They are very kind. They have no ego, no jealousy, no ill feelings towards anybody. Sattva samshuddhihi. Jnana yoga vyavasthitihi. They are always established. Yoga means connected. Vyavasthiti, in that situation. What situation? Jnana. They are always contemplating or they have already realized or in the process of realization. They are constant contemplation on the truth. They are never distracted by other aspects of worldly desires. So they are constantly contemplating. That's why last time we remember Adhyatma Nitya is one of the qualities that Krishna said. Continuously engaged in the contemplation or the efforts to realize the truth. Danam, they are very charitable in nature. They are not selfish, so naturally they don't hoard anything. Aparigraha, we have one of the qualities. So they don't steal, they don't hoard, they don't hide. They think everything belongs to everyone. I'm just custodian. So Danam is a natural property. They just do Danam because there is a need there which is greater than my need. I told you earlier also, if somebody's need is greater than yours, he is the rightful owner of everything. You are not the owner. Though you have it, though you have earned it, yet you are not the owner because the need is the reason why something belongs to somebody. Tena tyaktena bunjita mahagrudha kasya svidhanam Isha Vasyupanishad says. Don't take another man's wealth. What is another man's wealth, another person's wealth? That for which the need of which is greater for that person. I may have plenty of food, but I don't need to eat it. I am not hungry. But somebody is more hungry, then he or she is the rightful owner of the food that I have in my control. Like that wealth, like that knowledge, like that power, like that position, everything you can think of. So Dhanam is a very natural quality. They don't hide. Damascha, they have control over their senses. Shama, Dama, ityadi, we say other Shat Sampat is also there, our Shankaracharya says. Shama, Dama, Uparati, Tiksha, Shraddha, Samadhana. This is the sixth property Shankaracharya says are basic prerequisites for self-realization. In that Dama, control on the senses. Paranchikani, Ratnat, Swayambhu, Tasmat, we know all that from Kathopanishad. Senses are created in an outgoing way. They see something, they get attracted, they run towards it. They want to hear, they want to taste, they want to touch, smell, experience, so they run outwards. But these people are able to withdraw them and these people are able to keep them in the check. Now only use it to the extent that it is noble and virtuous. Not for ill reasons, not for bad reasons. They have that control over them. Dhamma. That is very important. Our Shankaracharya and Viveka Chudamani very beautiful says, 5 senses we have. We are very difficult to control these 5 senses. And then he says, Shabdadibhi panchabhireva pancha panchatva mapu svagunena baddha kuranga matanga patanga meena bhringa naraha panchabhiranchita kim. He says, every of these creatures are bound by their own sense which is prominent in them, the sense organ or the guna. Like kuranga. What is kuranga? Kuranga is deer. So deer is bound by the sense of shabda, ears. When it hears a sound, it runs towards it and then the hunter catches the deer. It makes some rustling sound of the leaves and deer is attracted, it goes there and gets caught in the net. So that is kuranga. Just by hearing, he gets into trouble. Matanga, elephant. His weakness is touch. You know how they catch big male elephants. Kuranga you can catch and bring home. But Matanga, how do you bring the elephant, big one? So they send a female elephant into the forest. Then female elephant goes and gently touches the male elephant. He loses his memory and discrimination and follows the female all the way. She has been trained. Honey trap. She has been trained to bring the big elephant back to the hunter's place. So this male elephant follows the female and comes to his own ruin, and whole life he slogs after that because of that touch. So one touch makes the elephant lose his discrimination. Patanga. Patanga is the fire, these flies, they know that if they go towards the lamp and fall in the flame, they'll die. Yet they're attracted by the sight, they can't keep quiet. They rush towards it. So by the virtue of their sight, just one indriya, they are ruined. And I see so many of these flies, especially in these times, after rainy season, you should see how many flies. They all are born, they run towards the fire flame and then they get burnt and die. Morning there's a pile of them. So he's not able to control, knows it to be destructive, but still goes. Mahatanga, patanga, meena, fish, taste. How do they catch fish? In the fish hook, they put a small worm. And then the fish sees the worm and doesn't see the hook behind it. Goes to eat the worm and gets caught. So taste, one sense of taste kills the fish. Bringa. Bringa is bee, bumblebee or honeybee, whichever bee. What is this problem? Smell. It smells the fragrance of the flowers. It wants to go and experience that, and it swoons inside the flower. Flower closes, the bee dies. So these 5 die because of just one sense organ which they cannot control. Dhamma. No dhamma in there. But human beings have all the 5. We can get ruined by any of these. We have 5 times more chances of getting ruined. So Shankaracharya laments, Nara panchabhiranchi takkim, what is the fate of man or humans who are bound by all the 5 senses? When these creatures are dead, they kill themselves, get destroyed by just one sense organ. So Dhamma is so important. If you don't have control over your senses, what to see, what to hear, taste, smell and touch, we are ruined. Yajñascha, they are yajña parayata. Yajna means a sense of sacrifice. Yajñat karma samudbhavaha, it is said. All actions should be done as a sacrifice to the divine. Not for my sake, not for my selfish sake. To please the divine, to offer it to divine. Naturally, when you want to offer something to divine, it will have to be purest, of good quality. So naturally, all your actions will become pure. So yajnaha, swadhyaya, they are very rooted in self-study. Swa-adhyaya, it could be studying a scripture. Also swa-adhyaya, studying your own self. Contemplating on who you are. So Swadhyaya is one of their activity. Constantly they contemplate. Naham, just like our Nirvana Shatkam. I'm not Buddhi, Mana, Chitta, Hankara, I'm not the Indriyas, I'm not this, I'm only the Chidananda Rupa Shivoham. So this Swadhyaya, Tapa. Tapa means constant yearning to realize the truth. Somebody asked me, once you say that somebody should be eager to realize the truth and not wait. Another side you say that you should have the patience to realize the self. Both seems to be opposite. I said, yes, both are not opposite, they are complementary. Put all your efforts, be ready to realize the self. But when that self-realization comes, that is divine will, please wait for it to happen at the right time. When you are ready, it will happen to you. So both are not opposite, both are complementary. Tapa means a burning desire. Our Tripura Rahasya says like a man who is on fire, whose hair has caught fire. How will that person? You tell him, come, let us watch some movie. No, first find me water. I want to jump into a pool and cool myself because I am on fire. So that is tapa, that feeling of restlessness to realize. Then arjavam, straightforwardness, no crooked talks, no hypocrisy, no one thing for the other. Mana, their manasekam, vachasekam, karmanyekam. Integrity of thought, word and deed is arjavam. Ahimsa, they are non-violent. Why? Because they see God in everything and everyone. How can I destroy something or someone? Because I see divine in all. How could I harm anybody? And that is to creatures or trees or earth or water or environment, everything. Ahimsa is everything, all the aspects in which you do not destroy. And we have studied how many types of ahimsa there, remember? 3 into 3 into 3 into 3, 81 types of ahimsas are there. Or rather 81 types of himsas are there, so opposite is 81 types of ahimsa. So then Satya, Satyam, they are always truthful, they don't lie, they don't tell one thing for the other. As I said, lying is not merely about not telling the truth. Telling the truth in a distorted way is also lying only. So you should tell the truth as it is, but you should tell it sweetly. Satyam bruyat, priyam bruyat, na bruyat satyam apriyam. Tell the truth, but tell it sweetly. Don't tell the truth which is not nice, not pleasant. The king's son was born. He called everybody and said, tell the fate of my son. All Jyotishas said, your son is going to die very soon. He's a short-lived fellow. After so many years, the son was born and king was very upset. He put them all in jail. So next, only one Jyotishi was left, astrologer. That astrologer thought, if I tell the same thing, I'll also be put in jail. So he came and he cleverly said, your son has brought you great fate and great fortune. What is that? He says, your son has brought you the blessing that you will live longer than your son. Oh, wonderful. He gives him prizes and presents and sends him back. Satya. Yet told in a pleasant way. So this is how Satya has to be told. In a nice way. Akrodaha. They don't get angry. They have the patience not to get angry. Unreasonable anger is what I didn't get what I wanted, therefore I get angry. I didn't get the respect, I didn't get the authority, I didn't get obeyed by somebody, I'm angry. No, anger can be used as a tool for correction. Sometimes you have to raise your voice. Sometimes children don't listen. So a little bit sometimes you have to raise the tone of this. But that anger should not be hatred type of anger. It is an anger which is corrective, which is also born out of love only, another form of love. Rain and the hailstorm, both are water only. But hailstorm hurts. Rain only is soothing. So likewise, but sometimes you have to do that. Krodha, Tyagaha, they are sacrificing in nature. They always think, what can I do for others? And if we have one chapati and there are 2 hungry people, they are ready to divide it by 2 and eat half. And there are 4, they divide it by 4 and have a quarter. But they try to accommodate everybody. Where 1 can sleep, 2 can sit. Where 2 can sit, 3 can stand. Let us all be sheltered. This is their idea of Tyaga. Tyage nahi ki amritatva manasho. Through sacrifice alone, immortality is attained, they say. Shantihi, they are always peaceful, of peaceful demeanor. You can't disturb their peace because they are reveling in themselves, Atma Krida, Atmarati. They are always happy within themselves. You can't disturb their peace. Even if they look like disturbed, that is only a temporary shake and they are always generally steady. So you have to check all these qualities, how much of it we are manifesting into what intensity. Shanti, apaishunam. Apaishunam means not finding fault and with others all the time or with situations or things. They have this sense of acceptance for things. They don't go on complaining about everything. Ye acha nahi, wo nahi, this is not that, those people are like that. They're always finding fault. Some people are, their whole job is to find fault. कबीर दास दोष पराई देख के चला हसंत हसंत अपने याद ना आवई जिनका आदि ना अंत. Kabir Das says, seeing others' fault, you are laughing at them and going on counting their faults. You are not able to see your own fault which has no beginning and no end. This is the issue with people who have this habit of paishuna. So apaishuna means those who are not finding faults with others. If at all, point a finger, as I said, 3 fingers point towards you, that is their attitude. Let me see what's wrong with me. So they are also positive in terms of taking feedback. If somebody else finds a fault, they take it positively and try to improve. Daya, compassion, bhuteshu, for all beings, for animals, plants, birds, beasts, everybody, human beings, even to enemies they show daya. Rama has showing compassion even to his enemy Ravana. So that is the quality of these divine beings. Aloluptvam, no greed. Greed is what I need to eat. What I need to eat, I will eat. But my need should not be satisfied by harming somebody or taking more than what I need. I call it those who only take and don't give at all. They are all rogis. They only take, they don't want to give anything to anyone. Then those who take only as much as they give, or they give as much only as they take. They don't want to give more than that. They are the people, I call them as bogis. They take and give only that much. Beyond that, they do not want to talk about it like that. Then they are socialists, I call them, because they are only want everybody to get only so much. Then there are those who give more and take less. They are tyagis. I call them minimalists. With minimal, they want to survive. They don't want to take more than what their need is. And the fourth one are yogis. They only give. They don't take in return. They are spiritualists. They always give. Anything they have, they will give it. No, they won't think twice. What about you? If I have done the right thing, God will look after me. That is the idea. The one who has provided for me today, he'll provide for me tomorrow also. That is the idea of yogis. So he is talking about this. They have this aloluptam. They don't have any greed. They always want to give. Mardavam, very gentle in their demeanor. No rudeness, no harshness. Very gentle. No shouting, yelling, and using rude words and harsh words. They always are sweet demeanored people. He humble, because humility is a hallmark of greatness. All great beings are humble. Anybody who is egoistic, you know that person has no spiritual bent of mind. And why humble? Because who am I after all in this huge big creation? What am I? I can't even control my own body. I can't control my own heart. I can't control my own digestion. I can't control my own circulation, respiration. All this is done by somebody. So I am able to do what I am able to do. I may become an engineer. I have not created these 5 elements. I may become a doctor. I have not created the life. I may become an agriculturalist. I have not created the earth, water, seed, whatever. I may become a teacher, but I have not created the knowledge. So this humility is always the hallmark of great people. Achapalam, they are unwavering. Chapalatvam means always fickle-minded. Some people are so restless and they can't sit in one place. Their leg, hand, something will be shaking all the time. If they will not at rest, and they will not allow anybody also to be at peace. They'll go and disturb them also. But these people are not like that. They're achapalam. They're very steady and restful in their body as well as in the mind, emotions and everything. Steadiness is there. Tejaha shamadhati shaucham adroho natimanita. Tejaha, virtuous splendor. When you do good things, your body shines when your character is fine, I say. When you are a very good person, your face shows it. The teja, kind of a splendor, kind of a spiritual virtues that they carry, that makes them glow. So there is a glow on their face. Also teja could also mean the spiritual enlightenment that they carry. They also bring that enlightenment to others. If you have light only, you can throw light on others. So they kind of remove the darkness from others' lives also by their mere presence, their teja. Kshama, forbearance, like earth. They bear it. Tantitikshasva Bharata, he says. Krishna, bear it. It's okay. Don't complain. Don't cry. Sometimes in life things happen this way. Bear it. Bear it. So they have the capacity to bear. They can bear insults. They can bear failures. Also they can bear praise. Bearing praise is also important with the right attitude. So Shama, Dhrutihi, determination. They don't give up easily. Come what may, whatever difficulties. Ultimately till they realize it, they don't leave it. Uttishtata, Jagrata, Prapyavarani Bhota, Shurasya Dhara Nishita Duratyaya Durgam Patastat Kavayo Vadanti, says Kathopanishad. It is a difficult path, like walking on the razor's edge. Yet walk and don't give up. Arise, awake and stop not till the goal is reached, Vivekananda. And learn from those who know, Nibodhata. And till you learn it, till you realize it, don't give up. This is the idea. Dhartihi. Shaucham, cleanliness. Both outside and inside cleanliness. Their surroundings are clean, their minds are clean, their habits are clean, their thinking is clean, their words are clean. In every aspect they demonstrate cleanliness. That's why he said cleanliness is next to godliness. Adroho, they have no anger, hatred, jealousy, envy for anybody. No, somebody is having something, they don't cheat people, they don't harm people for their sake. And they don't carry jealousy. He's growing or she's growing, she got more marks, he got no jealousy. I did my best, whatever I got, I'm happy with it. They don't become envious and then start doing wrong things. Natimanita, they don't have ego. Atimanita means they think too much of themselves. Some people are there. If they are in the room, the only talk in the room will be what they have achieved, what they have done, what they are going to do next, how much they think. Everything will be about themselves. The whole world self-centered to the core. Think too much, high opinion about themselves. Atimanita. Mana means opinion, high opinion is atimanita. They think too much of themselves. They don't consider anybody anything around them. They think they are the most superior. You might find some of them around. Bhavanti sampadam daivim abhijatasya bharata. These are the divine qualities which ensue from the divine beings, which are born of divine nature. So these are the qualities that you must have to be a divine being, Bharata. Bharata again, Bha means wisdom, Rata means the who revels or enjoys the wisdom. So Arjuna is enjoying this talk with great attention, like all of you are listening to me. So the Arjuna is listening to Krishna. That's why Krishna uses different names for Arjuna at different times. But every name has a meaning. And Bharata is because he's teaching him truth and knowledge, and Arjuna is enjoying it, so Bharata. Now, naturally, all these qualities are there, and we all have these qualities in some measure or the other. Not that all the time we demonstrate this, but now what are the other qualities? Now, this looks more familiar. Dambho, darpo, abhimanascha, krodha, parushymevacha, ajnanam cha abhijatasya, partha sampadamasurim. These are the demonic qualities. What? Dambha, haughtiness, sense of pride and that superiority. And kind of, you don't consider anybody anything in front of you then. Dambha. Then darpa, some kind of arrogance. Because you have got more marks, you are more smart, you are faster, you are capable. Anything, that arrogance. Then abhimana. Abhimana means again, you think too much of yourself. Beyond what you are, you attribute too much of opinion to your own self. So these qualities, krodha means all these are opposite of the previous ones basically. Krodha, they get angry. Why? When they don't get the respect that they think they deserve, or they don't get the authority or the position that they think they deserve, or some of their desires are not fulfilled. Krodha comes to them very easily. Parushyam evacha. And then they become very rude. Parushyam. Very rude talk. Very harsh. They're very harsh on people. They even harsh on themselves at times. But this harshness also is a part of demonic nature. Gentleness is, that's why I say three things that you follow. I tell softer, slower, and I tell children, I tell when you are very fast doing things, you slow down a bit. That is gentleness. Then you speak loudly, become a little softer and sober. I say, sobering down your attire, your behavior, your conduct. Wearing very gaudy dresses, gaudy ornaments, very highly, trying to attract attention by your haircut and all kinds of things, decorations. So these are not nice. So softer, sober and slower is what I tell our students. So S. Please follow that. So Parishymevacha is gentleness, not rude talks. Ajnanam cha abhijatasya. All these are born out of ignorance. What ignorance? I am the body. All demons think like this. I am so powerful. I can do anything and nobody is equal to me. And no, everybody should listen to me. If they don't listen to me, I'll teach them a lesson. I'll shout at them. So this is the kind of nature which is born of this ajnana. So these are properties or qualities of the demonic people. So far so good. You're able to understand, able to relate also. That see, interesting thing is that in the next look, so he says, Daivi sampad vimokshaya nibandhaya surimata ma shucha sampadam daivim abhijatosi pandava. So Arjuna is also thinking, oh my God, some of these qualities I demonstrate in and out. Some of these good qualities also I have, but some of bad qualities are there. So Arjuna has got into thinking whether should I classify myself as a demon or a godly man. So he's thinking, Krishna saw his face like I'm seeing yours. And he said, see Arjuna, don't worry, you are born with divine qualities. Ma shuchaha, don't worry, don't be sad. Why? Sampadam daivim abhijatosi Pandava. Pandava, one of the Pandu means all the Pandavas is covering them. And saying you are born with good qualities. You are not the bad demonic qualities. So that way now he calls him Pandava because he wants to differentiate between Kauravas and Pandavas. Pandavas are with divine qualities. So opposite is Kauravas who are into demonic qualities. So he says you are a Pandava, you are born with good qualities, don't worry. Daivi Sampada Vimokshaya, when you have good divine qualities, it leads to liberation, freedom. Whereas Nibandhaya Surimata, whereas the demonic qualities bind you. Bind you means what? If you have a desire, then desire will make you work. And once one desire is fulfilled, the next desire arises. You are walking, then you want a bicycle, a bike, then you get a two-wheeler, then you get a four-wheeler, then small four-wheeler to a big SUV, from big SUV to the luxury. So it goes on, So you get bound by your own desire. Nobody binds you to this world. Your own desire binds you to this world. Bodhoham jnana khadgina tan nishkritya sukhi bhava. Cut off these bindings with jnana, sword of jnana. Who am I? Who am I? And then you can be free from all the desires. Idea is that this is a sthana. You are maintaining a position in an organization. That position, that in that organization deserves all this. For example, if you become the Prime Minister of the country, naturally you will be provided with the highest security, the best of the place to live, all your travel, conveniences, everything, because that position is being respected. Tomorrow if he retires from being a Prime Minister, what happens? He has to go back to wherever. He'll get a small pension and live with it. Nobody is going to salute him and nobody is going to do anything. So you have to behave according to your position in the society. That's all. To that extent only you should have things. Beyond that, so it should be pravritto va nivritto. Whether you take it or you give it, it should not matter to that person. If you reach that state, you enjoy the world. World cannot enjoy you anymore. You do whatever you want in the world. Nothing can bind you. Like Janaka, who was the king, who had all the best of the, so to say, facilities in life. Yet he was withdrawn and totally detached within. So that is the idea you have to ask yourself. You can enjoy the world, provided you have the capacity to not allow world enjoy you, not world eat you up. So these are the things that bind, and these are the things which will liberate you. That's why Amrita Bindu Upanishad says, Mana eva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayoha. Nothing binds you, your mind binds you. A pure divine mind will liberate you. You will be detached, like a lotus flower which grows in a dirty water but doesn't allow the water to settle on it. Whereas a demonic mind will bind you with desires. It will not allow you to be free because it wants one thing or the other all the time, for which sake you must work and suffer and do. So he is saying these are the properties, Daivi, Asuri, Sampada are the state of mind, not the body. If somebody is a huge body, he is not an Asura. Somebody who is a very lean, mean, or very beautiful or handsome is not Daiva. Don't go by the external things. Internal mind is the reason. So study the nature of the people. That's why you are not one but three. One you think you are, the one others think you are. The others see the mind part of it. He's a good man, bad man, harsh man, kind man, compassionate or very selfish. See, these are the properties of your mind. So this sampada is related to the mind. That's why all spirituality is chitta shuddhi only. To purify the mind is the essence of all spiritual sadhana. To clean the body is only one part of it, but to clean the mind is the bigger thing. That's why you have to keep on working on your mind. Now Krishna says, Dvau bhuta sargau lokesmin Daiva Asura Evacha. There are only two types of creation in this world, two types of beings in the world. Either they are demons or they are divine. Then you will ask, where do I fit then? I am a human, I am neither divine nor demon. Now the truth is that sometimes we are divine, sometimes we are demons. So we are not classified as third one at all, because we are fluctuating between the two or having partially divine, partially demonic. Based on situation, desha kala paristiti, we behave accordingly. So Krishna doesn't even classify humans in this category. He says there are only two types of people, either they are good or they are bad. You fit in whichever category, accordingly you will be either a good person or a bad person. And he says, Daivo vistarashah sproktaha asuram parthameshvanu. I have talked about the Daivi quality in great detail. Just now also I took almost a couple of minutes to explain what good qualities are. Now listen to the bad qualities Krishna is saying. I was thinking why Krishna is saying, let me describe the bad qualities in detail. Then I realized that I think he has met so many demons in his life since he was born, from his uncle onwards. So he has studied them thoroughly, researched them, and he has classified, categorized every single quality of those demons. Poor Krishna. That's why he has such knowledge, vast understanding. So now he is going to talk about demonic qualities in great detail, is what he is telling. So now let us listen to what this Krishna's explanation is. He says, what are the nature of these demonic people? Pravrittim cha nivrittim cha janana vidurasuraha. They don't understand what is to be done and what should not be done. That is their biggest problem. What should be done, what is the right thing to do, and what is the wrong thing to do. They don't understand the difference only. That is the biggest problem. See, if you know the difference, at least you have a possibility of choosing to do the right. But they don't even understand the difference. Their mind is so clouded. They're so full of themselves, they can't think of anything other than themselves. So what is right, dharma, adharma, karya, akarya, bhaya, is all come in the next chapter. But this chapter, what is saying? The pravritti, what should be done, and nivritti, what should not be done. They don't have an idea at all. So they keep doing the wrong things at the wrong times, in the wrong ways, and always stuck with their things. Their goal is not clear. They don't know what is the purpose of life. Therefore, they take to wrong ways. Once you know where you are going, at least you know which bus to catch. They don't know where they are going. Or in fact, they think they are going to another place which is where you should not be going. And they go there taking a wrong bus. So that's why they are like that. They don't understand. These Asuri Pravritti people don't understand this difference. What else they do? Na shaucham. They don't have cleanliness within and without. Cleanliness within means all the pure thoughts and qualities. They have rash feelings, harsh feelings, cruel feelings. They have selfish feelings, desires, greed, all that which we have studied. Now, and externally also they are very dirty. Tamasic people you see, generally they are very dirty. They are so lazy to even fold their clothes and keep it neatly in the cupboard. See, that's the very first nature of Sattvic people. They will be clean. I'm not saying they'll be decorated or made up or ornamented. Whatever they have, they'll keep it neat, clean, organized. That is the first quality of Sattvic people. Means there is some divinity in them once they maintain and organize themselves. Unorganized people, dirty people, and they are very happy. They don't even realize they're dirty, like pigs are there, no? The pigs are very happy in those dirty pools. You go and tell them, come out, let me give you a bath. He said, what bath? Narada went to Vishnu and told, what is this Maya of the samsara? Swarga, your name is so glorious. People don't love you, but they love this dirty world. What is the problem in this world? What is this Maya? He says, oh, you want to find out, you go down. And it converted him into a pig and sent him to earth. So that pig Narada went and found a nice sewer and then got inside and was resting peacefully in all the filth and dirt. And now slowly he found a female pig also after some time. So then he fell in love, and then they married. Then they have plenty of piglets, all of them living in that sewer, happy, enjoying the dirt and the filth and the bad smell and the foul air. But they like it. They don't have any problem with it. You and I will not like it, but they like it. That's why they're in that place. So he was living happily when once Indra was passing by, and he saw and he said, what is this? This is his yoga shakti, Deva Shakti. He found out, hey, this is Narada. Then he went and told that pig Narada, what are you doing in this dirty place? How can you are a Brahmarishi, how can you do this? He said, what Brahmarishi, what you are talking? I am happy, I am this Mr. Pig, she is Mrs. Pig, Peppa Pig. So we are all pigs. He said, no, you are God, you are divine, you are nothing doing, I am not interested. He said, see, you are Narada, I will take you to Swarga and show you where you truly belong. He said, but I am not interested. He said, no, I feel pity for you, you must come with me. So he asked his wife that, is this man, strange man, is asking me to come to another place. He says, facilities are better there, you should come. So I'll go and see and come. So wife says, yes, but take care of your diet and, health and all that. Go wherever you want. So our pig Narada went to Swarga and sat there, and dances are going on, like satsangs are going on, pravachans are going on, Vedic chantings are going on. Narada is not interested because he's become a pig. So he's getting restless, grunting and moving this way, that way. So Indra asked, what happened, Narada? Are you not enjoying these wonderful songs? He said, no, I'm not interested. Let me go. So that is the plight of Shaucha, by all those people who don't keep themselves dirty and keep their things dirty and don't keep their surroundings clean. You know what you are then. So please, Shaucham is very important. That's where everything becomes, cleanliness is very important. But these people are not interested in cleanliness. They're happy as they are. They don't even realize they're unclean. Somebody tells them you're unclean, they don't even realize. So that is the issue with these demonic people. Na api cha acharo. They don't know how to behave, how to conduct themselves. You're going to a temple, the way you should dress up, the way you should behave in a temple. You can't pull out your phone and talk loudly. There are things, there are sabhamaryadas are there, where you are, what you are doing. You must behave accordingly, dress accordingly, conduct yourself accordingly. These people have no such sense. I've seen many people, they walk into ashram or a temple, especially young boys and girls. They're so badly dressed. They have no respect. See, how you dress is the way you show respect to the person or the place. That is why dress is important. You can't walk in, we have to pick a dress code for our ashram. Because see, this is an ashram, there has to be a certain way of behavior. Or you're a lawyer, you have a dress code, no? You wear a coat, black coat and go. You're not allowed to go without it. Or you are a navy man, army person. They all have dresses. They have a dress code. And that gives dignity, respect, and that's the right behavior. Similarly, you are a sadhaka, you are a spiritual aspirant, you are a person with divine qualities. The way you dress, the way you talk, behave, all this is also important. Your achara is important. So it's important for us to behave or dress correctly. Therefore, our grooming, everything is also reflecting our inner nature. Our inner nature is reflected in our outer behavior. Na satyam teshu vidyate. Not they speak truth, not they behave in a truthful way. They are deceitful. They hide things. They tell one thing for the other. They create confusion and doubt in people. This is their gossipers. This is also their nature, satyam. This is the kind of qualities they demonstrate. They don't know what is right and what is wrong. They don't know how to behave. They are not clean in their body and mind, and they don't tell the truth. They tell it in a distorted way or hide the truth or lie. These are the kind of natures is that. Think of, imagine Bhasmasura. He did tapas and pleased Shiva. When Shiva came and gave him the blessing, he asked for the blessing, wherever I put my hand, they should get destroyed. And he went after Shiva only. Look at their nature. No gratitude, no kindness. They will destroy the very benefactors or bite the very hands that feed you. These are the qualities of demonic people. No gratitude, no sense of kindness and compassion. Even to their own well-wishers, they are not nice. They're so selfish. So, why this happens to them? Because they're very dull-witted. They don't understand. That's why our... in Chiketa asks, in Kathopanishad, he asks, tell me the truth. How to know the truth? And Yama starts with the very first discourse is about Shreya and Preya. There are two parts. He says, Anyat Shreyo Anyat Utaiva Preya Te Ubhe Nanarthe Purusham Sinita. There is a Preya, pleasant way, and there is a noble or the good way, Shreya. And generally people go after the pleasant and they leave what is good. And these both the things bind people to the world. But then what happens? Tayoha Shreya Adadanasya Sadhu. If you take the good way, noble path, you become a sadhu. At the end, you become a sadhu. Bhavati hiyate arthat yau preyo vinite. The one who chooses the pleasant one, he destroys himself. He declines in his status. So pleasant is very attractive, but it is not joyful. At the end, it may be pleasurable now, but it will lead to misery later. It is a sweet poison. Tastes sweet in the beginning, but it is a poison. Like for a person who has diabetes, sugar is a poison. It may taste good, but not allowed to eat because it will destroy the person. Likewise, the world is like that, been created like that. All the sense pleasures are very sweet and pleasurable in the beginning, but at the end they all lead to one destruction. That's why Nachiketa says, no, api sarvam jivitamalpena shiyante, all my jarayanti tejaha, all my energy and vitality will be destroyed because of these distractions. At the end, all this is going to be ephemeral only. Why should I want all this? Give me the truth, he says. And then Yama says, Shreyashcha Preyashcha Manushyametat Tau Samparitya Vivinakti Dhira. A discriminating fellow can choose between the right and the pleasant. And what happens? Shreyoi Dhiro Preyaso Abhipreyaso Vinite. The right person, the discriminating, the sadhaka, the divine quality person will choose the good over the pleasant. Whereas the ordinary, the fool, the demonic person will choose the pleasant because he wants to have good time now and let us enjoy now. But then they have to face the music at some point in time. We may laze around whole year and not study, but exams are there. We have to face the exams. And that day, who will be having the last laugh? The one who has studied all through and not whiled away his time in laziness. They'll be having the last laugh. So that is the idea. Throughout the life, we have to choose correctly. Unfortunately, the Asuri people cannot choose correctly at all. They're so clouded and confused. But next, asatyam apratishtham te jagat ahuranishwaram aparaspara sambhutam kimanyat kama hetukam. They are atheists. They don't believe in the existence of Ishvara or God. They don't believe that this world has been created by a divine supreme power. They simply believe in, so to say, the matter or the science part of it at best. And they say there is no real reason for all these things. It is just a creation. And what happens? There is no Ishwar, there is no Lord, there is no supreme divinity and all that. Where is he? We cannot see, taste, smell, touch. Show me where is your God. They will argue like this with you. But the definition of the God is the one which is beyond the senses. There is no instrument that can capture it. The very definition God is unreachable, only experiential. It is not experimental. So unfortunately, we can't explain to them. These atheists talk like this very badly. Asatyam, their understanding is falsehood. Apratishtam, they think this world has no foundation, no fundamental, no reason, no basis. It has just happened like this, and there is nothing called God in this world. And aparaspara sambhutam, there is no cause for the creation or cause for what is happening. YOLO generation, no, you only live once. They don't believe in all these things. Punarjanma, karma, prabhava, nothing. They don't believe. And then kimanyat kama hetukam. What is the reason for this world other than fulfillment of one's desires? That is why we are born. To enjoy life, we are born. So you live only once. You only live once. Make the best of it. That is the kind of thought process that has been infused into the younger generation. Especially Western philosophy, which does not understand the rebirths or reincarnations. They simply tell everybody, make the best of it. That's why the kind of competition and pressure on Western minds is so high. Because they think this is all the life is. Ayam loko asti para iti man. The foolish fellow thinks only this world exists, nothing exists beyond this. So puna vashama apadyate me. They keep coming in the control of Yama. That's what Yama tells in Kathopanishad. Because they don't believe. Na samparaya pratibhalam bhati balam. They don't understand. They are kiddish. They are foolish in their understanding. That's why pramadyante vittamohena mudam. They run behind pleasures and wealth because they think everything I have to enjoy before I die. We make a list, bucket list. All these I have to do before I die. Don't worry, you will come back again after kicking the bucket. You will find one more bucket and you can keep kicking it forever. So this is the issue with these people. They don't understand. But on top of that saying God does not exist. Where is your God? Show me your God, like that. They talk like this, atheists. And so what you call the I am similarly Mundukopi says avidyayam antare vartamana swayam dhira panditam manyamana. They believe they know everything, nobody needs to tell them anything, nothing called God, because you can't weigh it, prove it, measure it, so the God does not exist. And dandrambyamada pariyanti muda, they go on in the circle, they don't reach anywhere, they keep going in circles, they say. And andhena iva niyamana yathandha, like a blind man leads another blind man, they also give this agyana to others around them, the atheists. That is what they do. They do more harm to the people in the society. And as I said, this is once Edison was traveling in a train and he was reading the Bible. He was a young scientist that time. And some other old scientist was sitting and he said, what is this happening to young scientists like you? You're believing in all this superstition and God and all that. So this, in fact, this old scientist said, I will visit your lab and I will give you a peace of mind that a scientist should not believe in superstition like this. So he comes the next day, he sees a very beautiful model of solar system. So the old scientist is very happy. He says, what a wonderful model. Who made this? Who created this? Our Edison says, nobody created it. It just appeared like this without any reason. He said, how is that possible? If somebody should have made this, somebody should be the creator of this model. He said, no, it just happened on its own. One day I opened the door and it was there. He said, how can that be possible? Are you a scientist or a fool? He said, sir, when the whole of this universe has, you think that has happened just like that in a big bang, out of nothing, nobody is the creator of this, then why can't this be created on its own? That is how he told that there is a reason, there is a power, there is a Lord who is running this whole show. And you have to have the discriminating mind, that jnana chakshu, to know that. Etam drishtim avashtabhya nashtatmano alpa buddhayaha. Because of this narrow understanding, the wrong understanding, wrong vision, what is happening? This foolish fellow, alpa buddhi, who cannot understand these things, he destroys himself. He destroys himself because he doesn't have the right understanding. Prabhavantya ugra karmana kshayaya jagato hitare. He destroys himself is okay, but he destroys others also around him. Jagata ahitaha. He does wrong things to others in the world. He does not help anybody. He harms everyone. How? Ugra karmana. With cruel actions. Kshayaya. Destroys. Jagat ahitaha. Does not do welfare, in fact does harm to the world around. People who want to rule the world, who want to control everything, their greed, their ambition, how it's destroying the entire universe. Entire planets is being destroyed because of their greed. Why this is happening? These are all people who are demonic. Then you will say, oh, they are so well educated in the Ivy League institutions, they wear suits and boots and they are so refined and they talk so nicely, they're gentlemen. All that is external only, sir. Dig a little bit, scratch and the devil will come out, as Vivekananda says. Ravana himself was so learned, yet he had no understanding. He destroyed everybody. Not only destroyed himself, he destroyed his entire clan. So these are the people who are terrible. We can't control them and they bring destruction to everybody. So that is the reason why we have to control demonic qualities. But what is the way? Can law enforcement agencies control this? No, they can forcefully suppress it for some time. But the real control will happen only if they change from within. That's why our education should discipline students from the source, not by force. By beating them up, shouting at them and punishing them, you can't change them. The demon will come out another time when all these pressures are removed. So we should change them from within by teaching them spirituality and explaining to them the reason why they should be good, for their own good, for their own betterment and also the betterment of the society around. One good person can change the world for the better. Similarly, one bad person can destroy it also. So both ways it is important. Kamam ashritya dushpuram dambha manam madanvitaha. They are dependent on their desires, as if they have surrendered to their desires. Ashritaha. Unless they have something going on in their head all the time, they think they have not lived the day. They think the whole day just went by and we didn't fulfill any desires today. We didn't enjoy anything. So they feel so unfulfilled and kind of empty at the end of the day because they're not fulfilled. And what kind of desire? Dushpuram. Endless. Keep putting more fuel into the fire will burn brighter. It never stops. So fulfillment of desire is not end of desire. Not fulfilling desire is the end of desire. Slowly it will die down. But keep on fulfilling. One desire leads to another leads to other. You have become a millionaire, you want to become a billionaire. Once you become a billionaire, you want to be a trillionaire. You have one house, you want to have 10 houses. Endless. Endless is this desire. That is why they say, Angam galitam palitam mundam dashana vihinam jatam tundam ruddho yati grihitva dandam tadapinam munchati asha pindam bhajagovindam. Man has become old, hair has fallen, teeth have fallen, he's shaking, holds the stick and walks. Yes, his desires is not done. Something is there. Let us die a trillionaire. Why die a billionaire? Dambha manam madanvita. They are enveloped. They are controlled by what? Dambha. This arrogance, this pride, this egotism. Mana. High that attitude, high-handed attitude, high opinion about themselves. Mada, as if intoxicated by this. An intoxicated person cannot think and discriminate. They are intoxicated by their wealth, power, progeny, strength, popularity, all the thing that is there at their disposal. And their desires are endless. They want to keep doing something or the other all the time. That's why excited about it. Mohat grihitva. Why? Because they've been caught by the moha, the delusion that this is the real. This is all that is needed in life. Dying rich is important. Dying powerful is important. Who is thinking like this? Remember from the Chandogya Upanishad story? Demons are thinking, no, body should be taken care of, they should be powerful, they should control everything. Same thing. And asadgrahan, they run behind these illusory, untruthful things, falsehood. Because these are all chasing shadows. It will not be there tomorrow. Yet they keep chasing it, keep collecting it. And pravartante ashuchivrataha. Ashuchivrataha, they are unclean, impure in their thinking and habits. Because of their impure, they go on running behind these temporary things, and they are deluded, and their desires are never done. They are always having some desire or the other. It's endless for them. So that is the nature of all these people who are demonic in nature. Now I was thinking how much Krishna must have been tortured by these people, going on explaining about them, and I'm not done still. Then he says, Chinta aparimeyam cha prayantam upashritaha. They are always worried, always anxious. If they don't have wealth, they're worried about creating wealth. Once they have wealth, they want to create more wealth. Once they have more wealth, they want to preserve this wealth. This yogakshema business goes on in their mind. So chinta, aparimeta, immeasurable worries they have. Till when? Pralayantam, till their end of their life, they're worried only about something or the other. Chinta leads to their chitta. Till they reach their chinta is not over. Because they are just always thinking of acquiring, gaining. They're endless for them. So they're always worried naturally. And then what happens? Kamopabhoga parmaha eta vaditi nishchitaha. They say, they are confirmed. What? That enjoying life, enjoying the desires of the world, enjoying the pleasures of the world is the highest purpose of life. There is nothing beyond that. That's all we are born for. Make the best of this human life. Do this, do that. Now you know why the whole Western world, and now that huge influence on the Eastern side also, is making people so greedy. Always they want to enjoy. They're so fickle-minded. Even our youths also, how fickle-minded they are. They want to go on upgrading their things. They want to go on changing their friends and relations. Now we have come to a situation they don't even want to marry. In Japan and all, the biggest issue right now is that young generation is not marrying and not having children. So their population is declining. They will have nobody left, only old people left. Our population also started declining. We have whatever, the replacement ratio of 2.1 is there. We have fallen below. It means what? We will get older and we will not have a younger generation to look after us. Why? Why are they not marrying, not having children? I want to enjoy my life. Children are a big burden. Then I have to sacrifice much for their sake. I have to worry about them. I want to enjoy my life. So they don't mind enjoying life as they want, but they don't want to bring up another generation or teach them any values. It's a new trend that has begun. And they don't want to marry because if you marry, then there could be a divorce. Because they are kama bhoga. They want to just enjoy the sense pleasures. Marriage is only a reason for that, nothing beyond. Begetting children, raising a society, community, that is not their agenda at all. They just want to have a good life. Asha pasha shatair baddhaha. They are bound by hundreds of such snares or asha pasha. Means like a, what you call, pasha means some kind of rope or this thing, noose. They're bound, hundreds of them, they bind these people, not one or two desires, they have hundreds of them. Then, kama krodha parayana, they're always engaged in kama, fulfillment of lust and desires, or krodha, anger when they don't fulfill those desires. They get frustrated. So, dhyayato vishayan punsa sangaste shupajaya, that whole sequence is there, how one leads to another. And their desires are never ending. The lust and greed is never ending, so they're angry when they don't get it. Ihante kamabhoga arthan anyayena artha sanchayan. And for the sake of fulfilling their desires, they're okay to take anyaya, means illegal routes, criminal routes. Artha sanchayan, for fulfillment of desire and gaining wealth. Sanchana means to acquire, to amass wealth or fulfill the desire. They're ready to take criminal, illegal, unfair, corrupt routes also. They don't mind. And we have plenty of them. Don't we know? How many big people whom we held in great respect, have fallen from the glory because of corrupt practices. Idam adyam maya labdam imam prapyase manoratham. They think, oh, I have acquired this, now I am going to acquire the next thing. This business I have acquired, next business will acquire. This house I have acquired, next house in or somewhere on that tallest tower in the world. That's all going on in their head. I have this, I want that. I want this, I want that. I got this, now I want to become that. I want to control this, I want to. It's just unending for them. So they are all idam madhya maya. This I have got now. Idam or idam prapsyase manoratham. This is my new next desire, next plan. I will acquire that. Idam asti idam api me bhavishyati punardhanam. This I have already made mine, means I have got it in my control. And in the future I will earn much more and I will have that also in my control. A Russian story is there of Tolstoy. It seems a poor Russian farmer heard that nearby a tribal village is there and any amount of land one can get for 1000 rubles. The only condition the chieftain of the tribal community said is one has to walk between morning, sunrise and sunset and has to come back to the same point. So whatever land is covered, it becomes that person's for 1000 rubles only. So this fellow got greedy. What did he do? He said, 1000 rubles, I can walk on whole day miles and miles and cover so much land. So he sold his own land, took 1000 rubles, went to the chief of the next village, gave him the 1000 rubles. In the morning, sunrise time, all of them got together on a little mound and encouraged him. He took some water and food and set off on his journey to acquire as much land. And he started walking and walking and walking. And after some time, he got tired. But he said, oh, this is so much land I have to cover. So he started walking faster. Then he felt his food was a burden. He threw the food and started walking hungry. Then he felt his water is a burden. So he threw his water and started walking. It became midday. Sun was on top. He was sweating, panting. Then he thought, okay, now I must return because it's midnoon. It's noon now. I must come back the same distance. But then he saw a beautiful lake. He said, if I cover this lake, then there will be enough water for my irrigation purposes. So he thought he ran faster to cover the lake. His boots were heavy. So he threw the boots also. Now his feet were cut and bruised. Yet he was running. Then he felt hot and saw that there was a beautiful forest. He said, if I cover this forest also, then I'll have enough wood for building houses and things like that for my farm. So he thought, let me cover this forest. Now it was already afternoon and sunset time was coming. He was hot and sweating through his clothes. Naked he was running. And he covered the forest and he started returning, but the sun was already setting. Now how can he cover the same distance in less time than what he had gone to? So he started running. And started panting, but he was not able to reach. And then the sun set. And he thought, I have lost everything, my 1000 rubles. But then still the people on the mound were waving because they could see the sun. They were on a higher place. So they encouraged him. So he had put his last bit of life into it and ran. Naked and hungry and tired and sweating. But the pressure that he took, he just reached the mound and died. He couldn't reach the final place. And the tribal chief said, till date I have never lost any land, but I have only earned this 1000 rubles. Because man's greed is such. And he told, for these 1000 rubles, let us donate a 6 feet by 6 feet land to this man and bury him there. This is the plight of a man. Trishnana jirna vayameva jirna. We die, our desires don't die. So such is this. They always keep making plans. How they ride the donkey, they put a carrot like this and they'll ride the donkey. The donkey thinks if I take one step, I'll eat the carrot. But he keeps taking steps but doesn't get to eat the carrot at all. That's how you fool the donkey. So this is how these people are foolish and they're never going to be satisfied. Aso maya hata shatru hanishya cha aparanapi. He says, I have killed these many enemies, now I'll kill some more enemies because he's a Kshatriya, so from that. Otherwise, think of a businessman, I've killed this competition by unfair means, I've swallowed those companies, I have hostile takeovers, and then I will take over some more and kill that competition also by unfair means, he says. Ishvaroham bhogi siddhoham balvan sugi. I am the Lord, I am the Supreme. Bhogi, I am the enjoyer of all this wealth and power. Siddhoham, I am perfect, I have attained everything. Nobody can find any fault with me. Balvan Sukhi, I am the most powerful, I am the happiest person. They go on telling, but they are not at all happy. They have a list thinking all this, if they check box, they will be happiest people. But they are never happy because they are always having another desire to chase. Adyo Abhijanvanasmi. I am wealthy and I have wealthy relations. All my relatives and friends, I have my clan, I belong to a wealthy, rich family, I am born in a wealthy family. This kind of pride they take. And then, Ko anyo asti sadrushva maya. Who else is there like me? I am the best. This is the kind of attitude they carry. Then, yakshe dasyami. I will give donations. I will do yajnas. And Modishya, and I will rejoice because by giving donation, you will get some punya. And after doing all the papas, you want to do a little donation and wash off all your sins. Doesn't happen. So, modishya, iti ajnana vimohita, these deluded by ignorance, think like this. Billions of dollars they'll have. They'll give one few hundred or $1,000 and they'll feel so happy and so proud that they have done so much of charity today. That charity also they do with this same pride, not with humility. I say when right hand gives, left hand should not know, left hand gives, right hand should not know. But they want to be known by all people everywhere, forever. So this is how these people live, and that is also because of the ignorance. Bali Chakravarti was like that. He wanted to give greatest charity to everybody. But it was a show off only, no? He was not doing it out of great this thing, and then he had to be taught a lesson by Vamana. Here, Alexander the Great, so-called great, Hiranyakashipu, these are all examples. So Krishna knows all of them in and out, that's why he is describing. And what else they do? Aneka chitta vibhrantaha mohajala samavritaha prasaktaha kama bhogeshu patanti narake ashuchau. What happens? Their mind is so distracted. Aneka chitta vibhranti means there is delusions. One thing they think now, suddenly they want to do another thing now. They are always distracted. And they have wrong understanding and convictions. Because of the wrong conviction, they keep on doing the wrong things. Moha jala samamrita, as if they have been caught in the web or caught in the net of delusion. Like if you're caught in the net, how much ever you try, you can't come out of it. You're trapped. So they're like trapped in this kind of a thinking and they cannot come out of it. You call them, make them sit, make them attend satsang, try to improve them and nothing happens. In Hindi say, bhais ke aage been bajane. You play a musical instrument instead of in front of a buffalo, what will it understand? How much ever you try to train them, improve them, work on them, it doesn't work. Many times some students, when we have taken from many places, they don't learn how much ever we tell. So teachers ask, this is becoming difficult. They take away all our energy and time. One or two of them take away all the time. I said, then send them home because I don't think this is meant for them. So leave it because we can't spend all the energy on 2 children and 28 are waiting. So sometimes we have to also take decisions on these people. Like Krishna took decisions with demons with whom he met. And then prasaktaha kama bhogeshu patanti narke ashchau. Because they're so attracted for kama bhoga, means for their lust and desires, they want to fulfill it all the time, that they fall into the worst of the narkas. Ashuchau, unclean narka. Narka means what you think there is some place called Narka, and our Puranas also have a very beautiful description of what all the innovative ways, creative ways they torture the papatma in the Narkas. And Narkas have their name and standards and status and all that stuff. They fry you in the oil and they hang you upside down and burn you in the fire, all that stuff. But true Narka is what you don't have peace of mind. That is Narka. Here and now you can experience that Narka because you don't have peace of mind. You have everything. You have bed, you have no sleep. You have wealth, you have no peace. You have family, you have no love. You have name, no respect. This is Narka. And this is the Narka these people are living in, the hell. Hell of a mind that is never at peace. And so they go through all these torture. This is what Ashantasya Kuto Sukham Krishna says. For a mind which is not peaceful, where is happiness for such a person? If their mind is peaceful, even with little we can be happy and we can enjoy. So prasakta kama bhogeshu patanti, they fall into the worst of the hells. It means their mind is in the worst state. And prasakta, so Krishna doesn't say sakta. Sakta means attached. Prasakta means addicted. Such deep attachment, they're addicted. Those drug addicts, whatever you do, they will go back again to their habits. How much ever you try to. So these are addictions. Wealth is addiction, name is addiction, power is addiction, popularity is addiction, body, beauty, strength, all these is addictions. They are addicted to it. So you can't get rid of them. Atma sambhavitaha stabdha dhanamanam madanvitaha. Atma sambhavita, so full of themselves. It's only about them. Nothing else exists, nobody else exists around. That's why such a person enters a room, it's a hell for everybody else. Because only he talks about his achievement, his plans, his vision, his this, his that. No other opportunity for anybody. You will find some of the characters like this, self-centered, full of themselves, very high opinion about themselves. Stabdha, very rude to others. They don't listen, they don't give attention, they don't pay any respects, very impolite to others. Dhana mana madanvitaha, dhana, wealth, mana, their position in the society, mada, intoxicated by that. They are like this, intoxicated by their wealth and their name. Yajante nama yajnasti, even if they do yajna or puja or dana or any ritual or spiritual activity so called, they also do nama yajnaste, namesake. For whose name? Their namesake. not even God's name. Namesake because it is just done for the sake of exhibitionism, and second, it's for their name. A huge, big letters will be there. Who's built this temple? People will remember the temple by the name of the person who built rather than by the God who lives inside. So that is the kind of control. And there are temples in India which are known by the builders and not by the God who lives. Even today, till date, I don't know who is the God inside that temple, and the temple is named after some big business family. I don't know who is inside, Krishna or Rama or Shiva, or is there any God inside at all. For sure, there is no God in such temples. The statue is there, idol is there. So, Nam Yajnaste, Dambhena, out of great arrogance and pride they do. Avidhi Purvakam, without following any proper rituals and proper, they have no respect for the real process of doing things. It's all about themselves. And I have seen people, they are building temples of themselves also. Even while they are alive. All kinds of things we have seen in this world. So these people are highly hypocrite. They are hypocrites to the core. They say one thing, they do another thing, and it's all about themselves. Even if they conduct a big, like Daksha Prajapati was there, no? To show off his wealth and power, he conducted the yajna. He didn't even invite Shiva. And all others whom he invited was only to show off. He is capable of doing such a huge yajna, he is so big and he is so powerful. Similarly, even Ashwamedha yajnas people did only to prove their power. These are not done for pleasing God or bringing prosperity. They is all to show off that they are Chakravartis. So, ahankaram balam darpam kamam krodam cha samshritaha mamatma paradeheshu padvishanto abhyasuyakaha. He says these people have ahankara, ego, that's given. Balam, power or the strength. Darpam, arrogance. Kamam, high desire, endless desires or lust. Krodham, anger, when their desires are not fulfilled. Samshrita, they have taken refuge in these wrong qualities. And unless they fulfill any of these things, the day is not done. They feel unfulfilled and dissatisfied at the end of the day if none of these has happened. You should see all these. And Mamatma Paradeheshu, they insult me as I am within themselves and in all others, he says. Pradvishanto, they insult me. Why the insult? Because the very divinity that you are not behaving according to the divinity. It's an insult to the divinity which is within. It is an insult to the divinity who is in all. So Krishna says, they insult me. Padvishanto, abhyasuyakaha, they're blasphemous, they're envious, and therefore they insult everybody. So, Sarvajiva Namaskaram Keshavam Prati Gacchati. Similarly, Sarvajiva Tiraskaram Keshavam Prati Gacchati. Whomever you salute the Lord. Whomever you insult the Lord. That is our scriptures say. So Krishna says, by not behaving as per their true original divine nature, they are insulting the presence of divinity within and without. So every time you deviate from real nature, you are actually insulting the divinity which has trusted you with this human birth and allowed you to take a human birth and propagate dharma and do good things. You are not doing that, you are insulting the very divinity. If you don't behave well with each other, or you don't respect or love each other, you are not respecting me only, because these are my principles. These are my ideas. These are my value systems. If you don't follow those, you are indirectly insulting me. So that is the idea Krishna is telling. You are insulting the divinity within and without, because you are identifying yourself with the wrong idea of demonic qualities. Tanaham dvishatah kruran samsareshu naradhaman shipamya ajasram ashubhanam asurishveva yonishu. He says, for such people who do like this, what happens? You must know what is the result, what you gain out of it. This is what you gain. Those who hate me, hate divinity, hate God, hate good things, and kruran, and they're cruel in this samsara, they are naradhaman, they are the lowest kind of people that is possible. First time he is mentioning nara here now. Earlier he was saying demon and gods only exist in this world, but he's saying those humans who behave like this, they are the worst of the humans, because they are demonic. And what do? Shipami. Shipamyam. What Krishna does with these people is that I throw them, I put them, ajasram, I throw them into what? Is Ashubhan, Asuri Shveva Yonishu. I send them back into yonis. Yonis means wombs, or species or next birth of lower kinds, Asuri Yoni, because they attract for them. So then you will say, oh, Krishna is not supposed to interfere. He doesn't throw anybody, he doesn't favor anybody. Krishna means to say, by the very divinity, by the very scheme and the design of things, they are born in such lowly births. They attract such births, they go into such yonis where they further the same bad qualities. They can't improve from there. That's why it says, Kamanyah kamayate manyamanaha, or Mundakopanishad, Kamabhir jayate tatra tatra. Because of the desires, they are born in such and such places or wombs. But paryapta kamasya kritatman vastu, Iha eva praviliyante kama. The one whose desires are done, fulfilled, here only he gets redeemed. All his desires are done. But if your desires are not done, you will be born again and again. Many times grandfathers are born in the same family as a grandson or a granddaughter. They are attached. The desires are not done, so they keep repeating themselves again and again. So this is what happens to them. Isha Upanishad says, Asuryanam teloka andhena tamsavrataha. They enter the world of asuras, such people, which is how? Full of darkness. Tamas andhena, blinding darkness. Imagine if you are tied down in a room which is blinding dark. How will you feel? You can't see yourself, you can't feel yourself, and you are tied there forever. What misery that is. That is the idea of this kind of world, just to show that how difficult their lives would be. So, Asurim yoni mapanna mudha janmani janmani mama prapyaiva kaunteya tato yanti adamam gatim. Krishna says, Asurim yonim, they enter these demonic wombs, demonic births, and mudha, because of their foolishness, janmani, birth after birth, they enter these demonic wombs. And they go on propagating and promoting and continuing this, perpetuating their cruelty and wrong habits. And they further, it's a downward spiral. They keep sinking into this darkness again and again. Mam aprapyeva, because they have not attained me. And so what happens? Yanti adamam gatim. They go lower and lower and lower worlds, adama. And lower births they take. They get worser by the births. This is what happens to them. And that's why our Adi Shankara says, Labdhva katham chira narajanma durlabham. In Viveka Chudamani he says, see, you have attained human birth somehow, Nara birth. Nara means Nari, both humans. You have attained, somehow you have attained durlabham. It's very rare to get this kind of birth. Tatrapi pumsatvam shrutipar darshanam. In that also, suppose you have got the opportunity to study the scriptures, which was given to only male in those times, but in today's terms, male or female. You have got an access to this kind of a right kind of knowledge, satsang, good company, seva, all these good things. Yasto atma muktau na yadate mudadihi, the one still who does not put efforts to realize the self and become free, that fool, sahyatma swayam vinihantya sadrahad. It's like he kills himself. He commits harakiri. He commits suicide. It is equivalent to that. You may say, no, I am a billionaire, trillionaire, I have a lot of wealth, I have this, I have cars and bungalows and power and servants. No, you are killing yourself. Day after day, you are just destroying yourself, because you are doing everything else other than what you are born to do, which is to know the truth of who you are and be free. So this is what is happening to most of the world. That is why Kaschit Dhira, some one or two people, Pratyeka Atmanam Akshat, wants to know the truth. Avrit Chakshu turns within. Amritattva Micham, because he desires immortality. He doesn't want to be born again and again. And worse, born in lower and lower births, worse and worse births, which is even more harming. Trividham narkasyadam dwaram nashanam atmanaha kama krodhastatha lobha tasmat etat trayam tyajet. Very important shloka. It says there are 3 doors to hell. Because there is such a big rush, one door is not enough. 3 doors. What are the 3 doors? Kama, lust and desires. Krodha, anger. And lobha, excessive greed. These are the 3 doors. Kama, this greed, this lust for things, lust for pleasures. This is very strong. It is one of the most strongest instincts created. And that is a trap. But Kama, if he is born out of prema, it is perfect. But Kama, born out of only Kama, is wrong. Then Krodha, obviously, you get angry when you don't get what you want. And then you trouble everybody, and then angry person doesn't know what he's doing, thinking he's intoxicated. So that is the second door to hell. And third is Lobha, greed. And you see, 50% of world's wealth is controlled by 2% people in the world. This is how Lobha at its best, $100 trillion GDP and 600 million people going to bed hungry every day. This is the world we live in. Dichotomy, the differences between haves and have-nots. Why it's happening? Lobha. Some people are so greedy and they have the power, unfortunately, like Asuras. They have taken over the entire thing and don't allow others. They don't let others in. That is the problem with our system. And unfortunately, they are encouraged. They are made heroes, they are given awards, they are celebrated. It's so unfortunate. But that is how the world is right now. So, Kama Krodha Lobha Tasmat Etam Tajet. Therefore, give up these 3 things, because they are surest way to hell, these are. So now you will think, so many Asuri qualities Krishna said, I think he just wanted to, vent it out. But at the end he says, if you can't remember all those several bad qualities, just remember these 3. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, if you have, you are good enough for, you are eligible for hell in the future. So Kama, Krodha, Lobha, these are the things which you must give up. That is what he says. And Etar Vimukta Kaunteya Tamodvarai Tribir Naraha. Once you get rid of these three, and these three, whatever, ways of getting into hell, if you get rid of these things, and what else? Acharati atmanah shreyaha. For your own welfare you work. Welfare means uddared atmanah, to rise, to become better. Tato yati paramgatim. And then you will attain the highest state, which is paramgatim. Paramgatim means to realize that you are the divine Purushottama and nothing less than that. So that is what one has to do. Get rid of these qualities. And tamodvara, these are all gates of tamas, darkness. That is hell. Get rid of it, and then what you do? Work for your own redemption, welfare of others and your welfare. Atmano mokshartam jagat hidayacha. Work like that and you will attain me, you will attain the highest truth, and that from there, yad gatvana nivartante tad dhamam paramam, Krishna says. That is the place where once you reach, you never come back again. Because once you turn into pure divine, you will not become demon again. It is that beauty of this spiritual knowledge. It is never lost. Even swalpamapyasya dharmasya, he says, even little you know of this, trayate mahato bhayat, great fears are alleviated. So how do I do this? Naturally, you have to go and find a way to do all these things, right? After listening to this, he says, Yaha shastra vidhim utsrajya vartate kamakaratah na sa siddhim avapnoti na sukham na paramgatim. Those who give up the dictates of the shastras, the scriptures. Shastra means not every Shastra. Shastra is that which teaches you about the highest wisdom. There are many types of Shastra. Artha Shastra is there, Kautilya's. So also there are Vimana Shastra is there, Ayurveda Shastra. I'm not talking about that Shastra. Here Shastra means the highest knowledge is Prasthana Trayas. This kind of Shastras which teach you about the self, they give you a very scientific, methodical approach to realize your self divinity. That's why they're called Shastra. They're like texts, science, arts of how to do it. To follow, those who do not follow and are driven by only their desires, they ignore the virtues and the instructions of the great scriptures. What happens to them? Na siddhim avapnoti. They don't attain perfection, they don't attain the highest. And what happens? Na sukham. They don't attain happiness in this world also. Na param gatim. Nor the world above. Neither iha nor para. Nothing they attain. They are in that Trishanku Swarga, foolish heaven, thinking they are very happy. But they are not, like the dog which goes on chewing the dry bone till its gum starts bleeding and it thinks it is enjoying the bone, but it's harming itself. That is the way these people live, who do not follow the correct way of the scriptures. I just want to draw attention to our simple thing like ashrama dharma. Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyasa. There are 4 ashram dharmas. If you follow that dharma, everybody will find moksha at the end. 100 years are enough to realize. 25 years Brahmacharya, 25 years Grihastha, 25 years Vanaprastha and 25 years as sannyasa, and you will become a realized person. It was to be that way. Within 100 years you can realize. But once you want to realize, sometimes children take to this, I want to take this path of spirituality, like Shankaracharya wanted to take. Mother was not willing. She gave this argument of Shastra only. But he said, what is that Shastra which comes in the way of me and God? That Shastra is no Shastra. If we do get double promotions, no, if you are very intelligent. Likewise, if you are very spiritual, from Brahmacharya straight to Sannyasa, you can jump. Skip all the in between if you want to. So Shastra also has to be understood correctly. Whatever takes us towards God is the real Shastra. And our scriptures say, Shastrasya Guru Vakyasya Satya Buddhya Avadharan. Have faith in the Shastras and the word of the Guru, because Guru is a walking, talking Shastra. He is the living embodiment of all Shastras. Such Shastri Kurvanti Shastrani, they say. Such a person gives meaning and definition and a true understanding of the Shastras because he lives those values day in, day out. So Guru is important. So what happens to these people? How do I get rid of this tamasa or the narka? Follow the injunctions of the Shastras, the right scriptures, or fall at the feet of the Guru. And he is so lucky, Arjuna. He is already at the feet of the Jagat Guru, Gita Acharya, Sri Krishna, who is taking him step by step through this whole process of redemption. So such a person will be able to follow. So our Shastras say that please go read the Shastras, argue it out. Tarkavada, Shastra Pramana, Tarkavadam and Swanubhava, and ultimately realize it for yourself. This is the way of the Shastras. What happens then? Such a person will never come to any ruin, never come to any sorrow. Last shloka, Tasmat Shastram Pramanam Te Karya Karya Vavistitau Gyatva Shastra Vidhanoktam Karma Kartum Iharhasi. It says, therefore, after learning what Shastra says, Shastra Pramanam, what is to be done in life, Karya and Akarya, what is to be done and what should not be done. Remember, we had talked about Karma, Akarma, Vikarma earlier in the chapters we have read. What is to be done, what is not to be done, what is not to be done in a certain way. All these we must have an understanding, and Shastras will tell us. See, these scriptures may find a new way of doing things today, but the principles remain the same. The application may change in today's world. But principle of truth, principle of dharma, principle of nyaya, all these dana, tapa, all these remain the same. Differently we can do. Now you will remember in Dhyana Yoga, now where do I find one deer skin, where do I find kusha grass, then only I will start meditation, not necessary. Don't go with the ritual part of Shastras, go with the spirit, the philosophy of the Shastra, what it is trying to teach you. So Gyatva Shastram Vidhanoktam, the way it is written in Shastra, you understand that, how it is said, karma kartum, then you do your actions in this world. Whatever Shastra says, tyaktena bunjita, sacrifice and consume. Tyage naiki amritacha manushu, attain immortality through sacrifice. So many such things our Shastra says. So do that and you attain me. We need somebody to guide us when you go to a new place. A GPS is needed. And Guru is like a GPS. Shastras are like GPS, map. They tell us which route to take and how to reach, which is the fastest, which is the less crowded, less traffic route. And our Guru is so good. Even if you don't follow, the GPS resets itself, right? You take a wrong turn, think your own way and try and get into traffic jam. Then your GPS resets itself and says, okay, now that you are foolishly landed in this way, not listening to me, still I am compassionate enough to, that GPS lady will find another route out of that place. So Guru and Shastras are so compassionate. If you have made a mess of everything by not following, still they will give you a way out. Saying, okay, no problem, so far, so this happened, leave it, past is past, bygones are bygones. Here onward you start on the right path. So this is the compassion of Guru. He never rejects the disciple once he accepts it. That's why I say getting accepted by a Guru is the greatest achievement you can have. You can go to the Guru, Guru may not accept you. But once Guru accepts you, it becomes his responsibility. So Shastras are like mothers. They accept us, they take care of us. Even if we harm them, they still help us. So read these Shastras, and Bhagavad Gita is one of the best Shastras. So this is what happens at the end. Pariksha lokan karmachitan brahmana nirvedam ayat. After having gone through the world, its ups and downs, good, bad, ugly and beautiful things, finally the man comes to conclusion, this is a waste of time. Nasti kaschit akritya kritena. All that we do does not help us to realize the ultimate thing, which is without any cause, without any reason. Ultimate truth, it doesn't help us with all the worlds of the world, works of the world. So what happens? Tat vijnanartham gurumeva abhigachet. Such a person reaches to the Guru. Shrotriyam brahmanishtam samitpanihi. Samitpanim with dry wood. Dry wood means dry mind, bereft of desires, lust, anger, greed, kama, krodha, lobha. Such a person reaches a Guru and says, please guide me. Who is a Guru? Shrotriyam. He is the one well versed in the Shastras. And brahmanishtam. He is completely absorbed and established in the truth, divinity. You reach such a person, he will make you understand the Shastras better. He will help you guide because he lives the Shastras. His very life is a walking, talking Shastra. So you can see, that's why I say observing a master at work is the best way to learn things. Observe a craftsman, a master artist, a master potter, a master sculptor. Just observe him. By observing, you learn so much more. All the theory will be seen in practical way. This is what we are doing here, trying to teach you back. So if you lead a life like this, finally Isha Upanishad Rishi prays, Hiranyamayena pratrena satya sahitam mukham Dattvam Pushana Pavrunu Satya Dharmaya Drishtve. See, O Lord, Hiranmaya means the golden one, like sun. The truth has been hidden by a golden lid. Where? Within me. I am not able to retrieve it, I am not able to realize it. But please have compassion on me. Why? Satya Dharmaya Drishtve. I have followed Satya and Dharma all my life as per your guidance, as per your instruction, O Lord. So please have compassion on me that I have followed your instructions. Hopefully I have pleased you. Have compassion. Remove that veil of ignorance. Show me the self. Show me the truth. This is how the Isha Upanishad Rishi prays. At the end, so humbly he puts in, Vayu Ranilam Amritam Athedam Bhasmantam Shariram. My body is now being given to the air and all the elements, the fire. And it is going back. Bhasmantam, it will become ash. My last moment has come. So what he says, please remember, Krito smara, kritam smaraha, Krito smara, kritam smaraha, he says. Remember, O Lord, the good that I have done in this life, the injunctions of the scriptures that I have followed, the command of the divinity that I have practiced. Please, by virtue of that, redeem me from this life and death. Take me unto you. Agnenaya Supataraya, he prays. Take me onto the royal path, divine path, unto you, because I have followed what you have told me. I have developed divine qualities. I have shunned the demonic qualities. I have followed the injunctions of the scriptures. Hopefully, I have pleased you with my conduct. So, accept me and help me realize the truth and redeem me. This is how the Isha Upanishad Rishi prays. So, this is the demonic and good quality and bad qualities that we have. And see, whatever, we all have the opportunity to change. We have all the opportunity to transform ourselves. Take interest in your own welfare. If you're not interested in your welfare, who can help you? Who can help you? So be interested in your welfare, and please read the scriptures with great Shraddha, practice it, and redeem yourself. That is the message of Bhagavad Gita.